Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of RiesKitchen. Today we're making an absolute Aussie classic, and that is the gluten-free Kingston biscuit. The benefit of making them at home rather than buying them from a shop, we get to use dark chocolate, just perfect. There's not too many ingredients and they are pretty quick to make. So let's get straight into it, shall we? So first up we have some salted butter, some brown sugar, some golden syrup, a large egg, some plain flour, gluten-free of course, some shredded coconut and some quinoa flakes. And then for our ganache we have some lovely dark chocolate and some unsalted butter. Now the first step for our biscuits is to cream our butter and sugar. Remembering when you're creaming, you're incorporating the sugar into the butter. So you can't over cream it, but you can definitely under cream it, which can lead to your biscuit spreading. So this is a pretty important step to start with. So just pop it in. Turn it on slowly to start with, and then we'll speed it up. Now I'm just going to spread that down because I can see there's a lump of butter at the bottom, as you can see on my spatula there. We'll just bring it all in. And with brown sugar, it's a little bit harder to tell than with white sugar that you've creamed it well enough. So you just want it to go a really pale colour, so it's not there yet. This is looking pretty good. Just do a double check to make sure there's no butter on the bottom, which there isn't. So into that bowl I'm going to add our egg, and I'm going to add a tablespoon of golden syrup. Gosh, I love this stuff. It's just awesome. And now we're just going to mix that together slowly at first, otherwise the egg will go everywhere, until it's fluffy. Now whenever you do add egg into cream butter and sugar, it often looks like it's curdled. So you need to just beat these ones until it's quite smooth and fluffy there, as you can see. So the next step is to add our dry ingredients. So in goes the flour, coconut and the quinoa. Now as you start to mix this, it'll look like it's just not going to work, like you've got way too much dry. Trust me, just keep mixing. So I've popped my oven on to 180 degrees fan force to start heating up, and I have 2 large baking trays here that I've lined with baking paper. So now with a teaspoon measurement, I'm just going to grab a ball. It doesn't look like much. These will weigh about 6 grams. And these biscuits will spread, but they are meant to be a bite size. So scoop it out, roll them up and pop them on the tray. Because we're going to make around 24 biscuits, that means you need 48 halves. Now our last step before we pop them in the oven is just using 2 fingers, just flatten them down slightly. Remember, they will spread a little bit more than that, but that gives you an idea. Now these go into the oven for 6 to 8 minutes until they're lovely golden and brown. I'm only going to pop 2 trays in at a time because that's how big my oven is. My kitchen just smells amazing. Oh, look at those. Now with all gluten-free, we have to let them cool on the tray. Otherwise they'll just break apart. While this lot are cooling, these guys have been out for 6 or 8 minutes, so they're cold enough to put on our rack. As I'm putting them on my rack, I'm going to be going, these 2 are 2 big ones, so they'll be a pair. So I'm going to pair them up in readiness to put the ganache in them. So it's a bit of a puzzle really. Now the best bit, making the ganache. So, dark chocolate, butter, and we're going to zap that in the microwave for 30 seconds on high. So the butter and the chocolate have started to melt. Give them a bit of a stir. Haven't done much there. I'm going to need to give them at least another 30 seconds to a minute. So the chocolate's almost melted. Give it a good, to incorporate that butter again. And it's thickened, as you can see. It's thickened and it's gone shiny. That's perfect. That's what the butter does for us. So now we need to move pretty quick. About a teaspoon worth on one biscuit. And then pop its partner on top. Now this chocolate will set very quickly, so you've just got to keep going quite quickly and then wait about 5 minutes before we can sit down and enjoy these with a cuppa. Oh, can't wait. Now for all the details of today's recipe, don't forget to check out my blog at the link below, but as always, the best bit's in the eating. I think I'm going to have a great deal of trouble stopping at one of these today. The biscuit is crisp and the richness of that dark chocolate ganache pops through. These are just divine. Until next time everybody, stay safe. Ciao.